So this is it. This is the second generation of the Zestek and 777 steering wheel. This is going to be a comprehensive video going over all of the features for the Gen 2 product, and below there's full timestamps so you can skip around. And if by the end of this video you want a steering wheel for yourself, head to 777-na.com, where we have the second generation of our new 3D configurator that makes it really easy to get everything you need. Before we get into the new stuff, the core promise stays the same. This is still plug and play on supported cars, but the wheel now works on racing sims, adds shift lights and vehicle data from the OBD2 port, adds BCM controls like flashing headlights, turn signals, wipers, and controlling center screens like BMW's iDrive, as well as a wireless power module to control standalone 12-volt accessories like fog lights, underglow, and flamethrower kits, all from the steering wheel. You still gain the quick release and motorsport feel, and the goal is still no warning lights, no sketchy workarounds, and no compromised drivability. So let's get straight into it and unbox it. Let's start with what you actually get, and then we'll talk features. The first bag we're opening up here is all the hardware and Allen keys that you'll need to install a steering wheel, followed by the USB A to C cable that you have for mapping the wheel on your computer. Then we have spacers for the flush plate and the new flush plate itself that goes where the horn usually would. And all steering wheels from 777 come with a carbon flush plate. This pigtail of wiring is vehicle specific, and it's what connects your car to the steering wheel and makes it all plug and play. You then get 3 new sticker sheets, which are much nicer than the previous ones, much thicker. These are made by 3M, and they're included so you can label all of the functions that you set for the steering wheel on the computer. The colorful sticker sheets are for the dials and the lights, and the black ones are for the button caps. Here's a few up-close photos that I took of them. And for your helmet, there's a separate sticker sheet with visor strips and Zestek stickers. If you don't have a helmet already or a Hans device, head to 777-na.com or email us. We'll help you find one. Then there's the Velo OBD. This little guy is one of the most exciting features of the new hub. It sends information like RPM, oil pressure, intake temperatures, and more wirelessly to your wheel just by plugging it into the OBD2 port. And at last, we get to the new Zestek SCX Hub. It comes in a new shape and carbonized texture. And the first thing you'll notice are the new shift lights and how good everything feels. The buttons feel like they were taken out of a mechanical keyboard, and they found a way to improve the feel of what were already fantastic paddle shifters. And when the sun hits the paddles, there's like this gold flake to it, which is super nice. Making our way to the back of the wheel, we'll notice that the PCB board is now integrated into the male quick release, which makes installation even easier than before. Using the quick release is really easy. You use 2 hands, put your fingers on the top and bottom of the gold ring, and with the male side removed, you can see the pogo pins that make this quick release so good. On the back, we also have a reminder that this is for track use and off-road use only, a USB-C port for programming on the computer, and the 2 adjustments you have for the paddles are the angle and distance from your fingers. There are a total of 28 inputs on the hub. The bolt pattern the quick release mounts to is 6 by 70 millimeters. When you order from us, we'll ship you the specific hub adapter needed to mount to your car's steering column. This is the optional sim racing adapter. I'm going to show you the unboxing, and then I'll show you how to set it up in a bit. It's basically a male quick release that you can plug into your PC via USB-A. This is the steering wheel I removed from my Mark V Supra. The Zestek hub imitates all of the buttons that were on the factory wheel, and since it's a track-only wheel, there is no airbag. It weighs shy of 3 kilograms or 6.6 pounds, and I added up the weight of all the parts of our wheel on screen, averaging 2.1 kilos or 4.63 pounds, saving shy of a kilo of weight. The factory wheel has a diameter of 355 millimeters or 14 inches, the GT3 wheel at 300 millimeters or 11.75 inches, and the standard wheels at 323 millimeters or right around 12.75 inches. Here's a bit of a side-by-side comparison. A smaller wheel is going to be harder to turn, but you're certainly going to feel more of the car beneath you. Assembling the quick release is really easy. Start by making sure that the quick release is flat part down, add the steering wheel that you're going to use, and stack on the carbon plate. It's incredibly important that the bolts that you use don't stick past the quick release. Use blue Loctite and tighten down all 6 bolts in a star pattern at 45 inch-pounds of torque. You can now plug the wheel into the computer using the USB-C cable, and we'll open up the new Zestek Workstation software, which is finally available for Mac OS. The first thing it'll ask you is what car you're programming this for. In this case, we're programming for the Toyota Supra. And the software is fairly intuitive. You can see the changes that you're making in real time, like these brightness adjustments. To change what a button does, just click on it on the screen, and you can drag around, change the color, as well as a drop down for the functions available to it. It's that easy. The shift lights are completely customizable. You can choose when they activate, when they flash, and at what RPM. And you can even do it by gear. The series of LEDs on the bottom right corner can tell me engine load, intake air temperatures, oil temperatures, and everything you see on the right side of the screen. The stickers are there for you to label the steering wheel based off the functions that you set in the program. To pair the Velo OBD to the hub, create a 4-digit PIN and make sure that it matches on both devices. Now that we're at the Supra, we can put the Velo link in the OBD2 port first. We pretty much already have this installed on the Supra. Every car is just going to be slightly different. You can search up a video on how to remove the factory steering wheel. There are other channels that do it for your car. And once you get to the part where the steering column is exposed, you're going to put on the hub adapter that we supply, connect the wiring harness to the factory clock spring, and then both connectors to the male quick release. and then you can put all 6 bolts. Use blue Loctite and aim for 45 inch-pounds or 4 to 5 Newton meters of torque. Now we'll go for a drive and I'll show you the shift lights. This is a U-turn with the GT3 wheel. Maneuverability is really good. So I got the wheel connected just to my phone as power supply, and you can see I'm gonna rev the car right now, and it still does it. I'm curious to see how far I can walk away from the car and it still rev. This is the distance I had to walk back to finally get it to disconnect. Go! Now I'm going to show you how to mount the wheel to your sim. I have a Fanatec DD1, yours may be different, and you're going to need something that looks like this. This is a quick release adapter that mounts to the Fanatec wheelbase, 6x70mm PCD adapter, meaning the distance between each bolt hole is 70 millimeters. With this particular one, I could mount directly USB-C to USB-C, essentially replacing this quick release with this one. But I'm not going to do that because I want to use the Zestek quick release so I can swap between my cars and the sim. You get the Zestek adapter, and it'll be mounting this to the Fanatec adapter. And with it assembled, you can plug this directly into your computer. And what's cool is that there is enough space here for you to route and go directly to USB-C from the 6-pin connector. Once it's connected to the computer, it behaves just like every other sim racing wheel. You just map it like you would in iRacing and you're good to go. Now for a controversial tutorial. Our steering wheels come with a black leather center stripe, but now we're including a pack of vinyl strips in the pack that allows you to change the colors if you want to. I'm going to be installing this on our universal wheel. It's basically a hub that only carries over the horn feature, and you don't even see any exposed bolt holes. It's a great simplistic solution. So here's the vinyl strip. Using an alcohol wipe down the leather, let it dry, then chase it with an adhesion promoter. I like to start behind the stitching on the bottom and work my way forward. Make sure that the vinyl overlaps and touches evenly, and then we can bust out the heat gun. What's super cool is that the heat gun also helps transfer over that leather texture that you see below. And then you're done. Now you have a colored center stripe. So that just about wraps it up for this video. If you enjoyed it, consider liking and comment below. It really helps us out. We'll be launching more tutorials on the steering wheel as well as installation videos for new platforms like the Ford Mustang. And if you're looking to buy car parts, including the steering wheel, head to 777-NA.com. We just launched a new program that rewards you with points for buying car parts that you normally would, with free track days, go-karting sessions with K1 Speed, iRacing credit, as well as motorsport classes with HP Academy. So if you're interested, check it out. It's in the description below. Until next time. Peace.